picked up a hook until last, I think it was October. So I never crocheted before. I
Like
started knitting when I was
October
2023.
23?
Yes.
Welcome to the Crochet Podcast, the podcast to learn everything about your favorite crochet artist. I'm so happy to welcome Janina from Crochet by Janina in this new episode. We will discuss her story, how she started crocheting less than a year ago, and by the way, I'm so impressed by your talent. It's absolutely insane. Anyways, we will discuss her plan for her business and what are the next steps for her. Let's welcome Janina. Hi Janina, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to be on the Crochet Podcast. I'm so happy. I just discovered your account. I thought it was amazing and I'm like, oh, I wish you could be on the podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. And I listen to every episode. So I was like,
so
okay, I'm going to be in the podcast. This is like a dream. So I'm very glad to be here.
No, I saw your account and I saw like you're on different platforms and everything. So I'm very interested to learn about, like your crochet story. And I know you are pretty new into the crochet world. So
Yes.
We will talk about that later. But can you please introduce yourself? Tell me a little bit about your background and everything.
Yes, sure, I can. So my name is Janina and I'm from Germany. I'm living here with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. And I love to crochet and I love to design patterns.
That's a good start.
Yes. So yeah, crocheting and designing patterns has definitely become one of my passions lately. So yeah, this is kind of it. I'm working a 9 to 5, so I think we're going to get into that later as well. But so I'm not only crocheting, I'm working as well, but this is kind of my life at the moment. Boyfriend. And
like I say, you have a double life.
A work job. Yes, right.
So can you tell me what's your job?
My job is it's called performance management. So I'm working at a corporate company which just does energy, so it provides energy to people.
Okay.
And I'm just doing financial stuff there.
Oh, okay. So you have a financial background study.
I studied economy with controlling as a, I don't know the word for it. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
Like accounting and stuff.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you go to office every day or do you work from home?
I'm working from home. We set ourselves within the team. We said we will meet once a month. Okay. But we don't even do that all the time. Sometimes we'll then meet more than just one day. But most of the time I'm working from home. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Does he help you with your crochet business? Do you feel you have more freedom?
Yeah, sure. The thing is with working from home is when I'm I can do stuff in my lunch break. I don't have to drive to the office and drive back. And this is maybe an hour of my day. And of course, I have the flexibility as working from home and what I'm doing to say in the middle of the day, I don't know, I forgot to do this and that for my crochet business. I have to do it now. And if I'm not having a meeting or something, I can just say, hey, taking a break for 20 minutes and I'm doing that. And I'm just working that 20 minutes later today. So that's the flexibility you have when you work from home.
Yes, that's such an advantage. You are not stuck in an office having to work. Yeah, I totally understand that. Did he start during COVID or did you always work from home?
When COVID started, I still studied. So I still was in university. I started working in 2021, but it has always been home office. I never was in the office properly. 5 times a week.
You didn't miss anything.
No, I don't think so. Well, I have been in one of my internships when I studied. Yeah. And I didn't like it to be there for, I'm not an office girly, I have to say. For me, my job is a compromise to earn money and to live. and it's actually not my passion. I love working there because I love my team and my people, but that's all.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I totally understand. Like the commute, I think is the least fun. Like it's such a waste of energy
Yeah.
and time and stuff. So working from home
Yes.
is for sure a huge advantage. So now you have a crochet business. When did you first of all, when did you start crocheting?
I haven't picked up a hook until last, I think it was October. So I never crocheted before. I
Like
started knitting
October
when I was
October 2003?
2023.
23?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So you
Yes.
are very, very new, but you are very talented.
I don't want to say that about myself, but I'm quite
You
a fast
can.
learner. No, I'm quite
Yeah.
a fast learner, especially when it comes to crafts. So sometimes, like, I listen to to your episodes, and some of the people were like, "Okay, I picked up everything right away," and some were like, "I needed this and that time to pick up like even a
Yes.
single crochet," and stuff like that. I find I learn pretty easily. So I just watched some YouTube tutorials. The first thing that I crocheted was a tote bag because on my personal Instagram, one of the influencers I follow just crocheted randomly a tote bag off of granny
Okay.
squares. And I was like, oh my God, I need to try that. So that was the first thing I did. And it took me like 24 hours in total. And I
Oh
hated it,
wow.
like because you needed so many granny squares. And of
Oh yeah,
course,
but
that
it was also your first time crocheting at all.
yes, it was.
Oh, I mean,
Um,
24 hours is not that bad.
yeah. But I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I watched the YouTube tutorial of the granny squares and I was just like crocheting what she did. And I didn't even know that I was doing like half double crochets. I didn't even know that that was the
Yes.
name for it. I just watched
Yeah,
it
and
and
it's
like
pretty
remembered and
hard.
just, yeah. And then I don't know. I, of course, unlocked crochet content with that. So, like, my YouTube and stuff was full of crochet plushies then, like
Yes, that's
amigurumi.
how it goes.
And I was like, I don't know if I like that. It's like not my style. Should I even try it? And then I was like, okay, I want to try one plushie because it seems fun. And then I
Yeah.
went to the store, to a local wool store, and bought some velvet yarn and crocheted my very first turtle.
Yeah.
And then I just saw all the videos of Crochet by Jenna. I feel like this was the first thing that was shown to me via YouTube,
Yeah.
and she just did that business thing, which is a hobby to me as well. I mean, I studied economics. I love that aspect. And I thought, okay, I could do two hobbies of mine. I could do business and I could do crocheting because like,
Yes.
if I would just have been sticking to crocheting without the business aspect, I wouldn't have done it as long as I did it for me,
I
I need to
understand. Yeah.
spice things up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's quite like that's how it started.
Yeah, I understand like the fun part of wanting to have a small business and it doesn't require that much investment and stuff. So it's just when I started, I felt
Yeah.
the same way. I was like, okay, let's have fun, let's have a business.
Yes, just start.
Yeah.
And I like my mom in Germany, you of course have like a lot of things to worry about when starting a business. You like, I feel like way more than in the US maybe.
Yeah.
And when I started it, I didn't think about that at first because I'm like just jumping into stuff
Okay.
quickly.
Yeah.
And then I just discovered what I have to do in order like to text stuff, legal stuff, and so on and so on. And I told
Oh,
that to
yeah.
my mother, and she was like, "Just stop it! Why would you do that? It's just such such
Like you
like so
don't
much
need
work.
that.
Why
Yeah.
would you do that if you have so many things to do, like legally and stuff?" And I was like, "No, but I want to do it. It's so much fun." And then I did it.
So legally you have to like declare a small business like
Yes, yes. I
oh
don't know. Do you
okay.
have to do that
Because
in the
in the
US?
US is like I guess like individual business and you don't have to
Mm.
like declare anything. Oh, I didn't know you had to do all of
You
that. Yeah.
have to do it like when I did photography when I studied. I haven't had to do that. I just had to pay taxes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But when you have like the mindset of earning money or earning a profit, then it's like a business, and then you have to register it in Germany.
Mm.
So
Wow. Yeah, so
yes.
you were very motivated to start a small business.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, that's good. You know, like you go for it. Like you want stuff, you go for it. I think that's amazing. And I think when you
Hmm.
start a small business, like that's the mindset you have to have. Like you have to be a fighter. If not, it's gonna be complicated for
True.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have an Etsy shop, right, where you sell your patterns.
Mm-hmm.
You have a YouTube like channel as well.
Yes, I do.
And you say you make cozy, how do you say, cozy videos on YouTube. Can
Yes.
you tell me what it means?
Yes. So I wanted to start YouTube just because, um, first of all, I wanted to kind of have videos for myself for the future. I love the idea of vlogging.
Yes.
For me to like in 5 years just see what I did, because you forget like within a week. And
Yes.
second of all, I wanted to do it because I knew that if you have a YouTube audience, it's Instagram is kind of bonding already if you compare it to TikTok. um,
Mm-hmm.
but YouTube, I feel like if you have an audience there, like maybe 1,000 subscribers on YouTube are as valuable as like maybe customers as maybe 3,000 on Instagram. Just like because I feel
Yes.
like they just have a stronger bond to you because they see you talking, they see your whole day. And those were the two things why I decided to start a YouTube. And I said cozy because it's mainly vlogs. So it's mainly like me within my week of crocheting,
Yeah.
which is mostly like calming and cozy and like not super adventurous or something like that. And I knew from the start that I didn't want to make like super fancy editing, and like I don't have the time to make super fancy videos. So I just wanted
Yeah.
them to be like within the flow, just showing what I do, just them to be
Sometimes
cozy.
is way better,
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And YouTube used to be like very, I will say, very sophisticated videos and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
now I feel it's not like that anymore. It's very chill.
Yeah.
And I mean, I make tutorials on YouTube, and I always say I barely edit them, you know, like I
Mm-hmm.
use like the iMovie. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, like now I feel like YouTube is a little bit less pressure and you can really express yourself,
I
you
feel
know,
like, especially in
without.
the crochet community, I feel like maybe in other branches of the industry, the videos are still more sophisticated.
Yeah.
But I feel like in crochet, there are so many creators that just like, I feel like just like me, want to show what they are doing. And like
Yeah.
nobody has like the time to put out a 10-hour edited video. I don't know. Do you know Uncomfy Co? She's a polymer clay artist. Okay. She
Okay.
does like, I will send you a link. She does
Okay,
like
I
the
need
most
to follow her.
sophisticated videos on YouTube. And of course, her videos are definitely better than mine. And they are like super cool to watch, but she is editing like crazy. And I feel like that's just not something I want to do or like spend my
And
time with.
I just want to throw it like that also, like for our audience, a lot of people that have very edited video on YouTube, they also pay editors. Like they have people that edit their
Right.
videos. We have to
Right.
know
Right.
that.
Yeah. And that's
Like your
something that I
famous
forget. Yes.
YouTuber don't edit their own video usually.
That's true. Because like even for me, I'm doing the minimal of editing, and I don't even rewatch my videos before uploading. If there's a mistake, there's a mistake. And I'm
It's there. Yeah.
still for me, it takes like an hour or an hour and a half per video because it's like
Yes,
40
it
minutes
is
long.
work.
So I
Yeah.
don't want to, for my holiday vlog that I did from Mauritius when we were there this summer, it took me 12 hours to edit this video. Yes, so
Yeah.
it can take a long time.
I have the feeling like vlogging takes more time to edit than
Yes,
tutorials. Me, I just cut every time, you know. But
true.
like
Yes.
vlogging, you have to like insert stuff, and so I
Yeah.
understand like it takes more time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel like vlogs are the part where everyone connects to you, I feel like. And
Yes,
I
they
feel
get to
like,
know you.
especially in the crochet community, vlogs are very popular just because they are definitely my most watched videos. Even if I'm doing like a crochet challenge where I'm like, okay, maybe that's more interesting to the audience. No, my vlogs do have the most views. And I feel that's just because you can just crochet with the person on the TV.
Yes.
Or,
It's
yeah.
like a crochet friend. And a
Yes,
lot of
right.
people don't have close crochet friends, so he helps
I
like
don't,
connect.
I know no one like
You
in
don't know
person
anyone?
who crochets. No.
Oh, yeah. It took me a while to meet some people that were in the crochet community. And here
Hmm.
in Utah, it's very, I will say, common, like it's a common
Hmm.
hobby. But in Europe, when I was in France, I
No one.
didn't know no one that were crocheting.
Even for markets, I feel like in Germany or like, I don't know, maybe in Europe in general, it's harder to find markets. We do have
Like,
markets, but it's
yeah.
like just not as common. And like, we have one in our city like once a year. And I'm like, okay, so can I do market once a year?
Yeah, it's hard to have a living with like one market. But I feel like in Europe, it's only like Christmas markets and
I've been
sometimes
to, yeah.
Easter markets,
Hmm.
but that's not very common here.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
so
it will
true.
come because I feel like crocheting, knitting, like
Hmm.
everything handcrafted, like is growing in Europe. So maybe it's
Yes,
gonna come.
that would be so cool because I'm not like that super, I don't like markets that much. I've been to one. Um,
Yeah,
but I would love to explore that more, actually.
yeah.
Just, yeah.
And I always say like also for a necessity because I don't do markets, but just to sell my creation, like the thing I make
Right.
for my pattern, sometimes you need to sell them
Yeah, 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 yeah. True. Like, I
because
mean,
you start
this
having a
one sits
huge
here.
collection.
This one sits here
Oh,
since
it's so
like
cute.
5 days. I don't know. Since 5 days, it's sitting here just because I don't have the space for it anymore.
It's a
And it's so
llama. I
large.
love him. Is that your pattern?
Yes. Yes, it's a jumbo alpaca. I did this in like small and then I converted it to large. So now I have two patterns, a jumbo
I think he's so
alpaca and a.
adorable.
Yes, I'm planning to crochet this with blanket yarn and I feel it's going to be 4 times this size.
It's gonna be way bigger.
It's going to be big, yes.
But we all need a giant llama at home, so I totally
Yes, I feel so
understand.
too. I feel so too. Everyone's going like run and buy this pattern and then we'll all make a giant llama.
Yes. And I have a question because I know I get this question asked a lot about the yarn. Do you find yarn easily in Germany? Like, where do you find your yarn?
Hmm. So I definitely had some difficulty with it at the beginning. The first page I was finding when I was just typing in chenille yarn because I didn't know anything about yarn was
Yeah.
Hobby. So that I
Yes.
think
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
from Denmark. Um, I don't know, but
Yes,
like
I think they are based in Denmark. Yes.
yes,
Mm-mm.
it's a European wool brand. I feel like,
Yeah.
and this was the first site I was on, and like the yarn is expensive, so like you get one skein of chenille yarn for €8, and
Oh, yeah.
this was my first order. I ordered like €80 worth of yarn, and I had just like 10 skeins. I was like, oh my god, this hobby is
Yes,
expensive, and then
that's
like.
quite a little bit expensive. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But then, like within the time, I found some other shops where I could order yarn, and now I feel like it's quite accessible. And yeah, I don't have any difficulties anymore to find yarn. Actually.
When I was in France, I used to use a brand. It was called, and I think it's German. It was called Grundle.
Gründel?
Grundle. Do you know this brand?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Oh, I used to use it a lot. I love their colors.
Yes, yes. It's one of the more expensive brands, though, but
Oh,
still
okay.
cheaper than Hobby. It's like €4 a skein or something like that. So it's still great. And we have them. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of Elise Softy
Yes,
or Alice
yes.
Veluto. We have that in Europe. That's great. Moon Tiasha. the Nessie creator. She's crocheting, I think, a lot with the Alice Softy yarn, and I love that fluffy yarn. It's so easy
It's
to work
so
with,
pretty.
and it's so pretty. Yes.
And in the US, you only find it on Etsy and Amazon. It's not easy to find.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm kind of glad to live here, because I really love that yarn.
Yes, it's really beautiful. I see a lot of creations with it,
Mm.
and it's very pretty, so soft.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I guess like we have to balance it out. We are lucky to have some brand here, but in Europe you guys have very
You
good
do.
brands too.
Yes,
I
yeah.
wish
I feel
like
like
all
for
the brands we could find everywhere though.
yes, definitely. I feel like for normal chenille yarn, or like your usual chenille yarn, the US has better brands like the
Chunky, yeah.
Premier
And it's
Parfait.
cheaper. It's like
Yes.
$3 or $4, I think.
Okay. Well, we have some brands. That's what I was saying. I found some brands that you have like €2.50 per skein or something like that. So
Oh,
that's
that's
great.
pretty good.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's possible.
Well, well, I'm glad. So, what type of patterns do you make? Do you make only plushies? Do you make like wearables? Like what type of patterns?
I'm actually just doing plushies at the moment. I don't know if I will maybe sometime expand to like wearables or something like that, but I've never crocheted anything wearable. I mean, I've
Mm.
only had October, November, December, 6 months of crocheting.
Yes,
So there's
you have
only as
time to
much time to
experiment.
create. So in this time I only did plushies, but like my folder of creation ideas is exploding and my brain is exploding.
I
I
know.
I
I
just want to
understand.
create everything.
Usually, you have more ideas than time. Like
Yes,
it's
yes,
always like
yes.
that.
And then like there's people asking me where I get my ideas from, and I'm like, I don't know. And I
Everywhere.
just have them. Yes, everywhere. Everywhere. I feel like it's just kind of something that you maybe just like are having. I think it's just a creative thing that your brain is or is not, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also sometimes you have moments, like I have moments that sometimes I'm not very inspired,
Mm-hmm.
and one day I wake up and I have a ton of ideas. Like it really comes and go, you know.
And then like for your list of ideas, I feel like we'll never finish it, because like in the time that we are not feeling inspired, we're not grabbing onto that list like we
We
should
find
maybe do, because we wrote that down when we were inspired, but instead we're just doing nothing. And then when we're getting inspired again, we're getting new ideas and we're writing down new ideas on the list again.
exactly,
And it
yes.
always needs to be the thing that just comes to your mind. You need to pursue that immediately. Like at least for me, it's like that.
That's true. And also I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same, but sometimes with social media, like you feel sometimes you see a trend and you are like, oh my god, I have to do that, and you
Mm,
throw away all your plans because you have to do this trend. I don't know, do
yes.
you like follow trends on social media or
Hmm. I don't know. I did design dessert turtles. So like this turtles which have the design of desserts. It's like a
yeah.
pancake turtle, blueberry pie turtle, and so on. It's like six in six. Um, but I like didn't, and I think turtles are kind of a trend, right?
Yes, yes.
But
Crochet
I
by
didn't
Gina,
like.
I had her on the podcast and she said you have to make turtles are very
Yes,
big right now, so I guess
yes,
I have to make a turtle.
yes. You have. You've never done one, right? You said, I think, yeah. But I
It's my
didn't like.
favorite animal, like sea turtles, my favorent
You will
animals,
like
but I
the.
never made them.
Maybe you will like the blueberry pie turtle.
Oh, she's really cute.
But
I
I
love
like.
her.
Thank you. I didn't like went to Instagram and was like, okay, turtles are a trend. I need to do them. Um, but instead, I did crochet this pancake turtle. This was my first turtle that I did.
Yeah.
Like my first turtle pattern. And like just 6 months after, like a very long time after, I was like, okay, I kind of can transform this into other dessert turtles. So like I was following a trend, but I didn't mean to be following that trend.
Yes, yes.
So I would say no. Like I'm not on Instagram and be like, this is a trend, I will do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Like I always say that in the podcast, it's always a challenge trying to be original and still follow what's going on,
Yes.
without exactly doing what everybody is doing. So it's always a
Yes.
challenge to, you still have to be original, but you still have to follow like some trends and stuff.
And I feel like this is the only way to follow trends successfully. If you like on Instagram and you're like, oh, there are so many turtles, and then like your idea comes up with an idea, like, oh,
Yeah.
let's, for example, do dessert turtles, and you've never seen
Yes.
that before, and
Yes.
then it's a trend, but it's not like the exact same as all the others are doing.
That's true. That's true. And also, like sometimes there are like musics and stuff. So I know it's important with Instagram to follow the music. So sometimes I save, the songs, and I'm like, oh,
Yes.
this is trendy. I have to make a reel with that.
The problem is, I think the Instagram algorithm is like, if there's a trending sound with that arrow pointing upwards, and you find that, and the less views it has, the more successful it will be. And if you find like one that's just under 5,000 users, I think you need to jump on the train. The problem for me is I'm doing real drafts. So I'm like preparing that draft, and I'll be
Yeah.
posting it like 2 weeks later. And then like, of course, the trending audio isn't trending anymore. So that's like the problem for me.
Oh yes,
And I
it's
can't
a
just
it's a
like replace the
challenge.
audio, because I can't just replace that audio because like I'm cutting the video to
Yeah.
fit the audio.
I feel the struggle. It's
Yeah.
changing all the time, and before, so you used to, like, for you to go viral, you had to take like big songs, like the most
Mm-hmm.
users, he was the best, he was.
Ah,
Same
okay.
for hashtags, like
Mm-hmm.
if you took a hashtag that had like 1 million users, you will go viral. And now it's kind of the
It's
contrary.
just, yes. Yes.
You have like to find stuff at the beginning,
Yeah,
so you have to be
true.
like a visionary, I guess.
Well, I feel like for Instagram it's perfect. It's like, to be going viral as a user, you have to be on Instagram all the time to find that stuff. So for Instagram it's perfect. For us, not so much.
Yes, and it's changing, because I used to do it one way and now it's another way. So
Mm.
you always have to rethink your strategy.
Yes, that's so true.
But do you feel like social media is a big part of your business? Like, did you feel it helped grow your business, or it doesn't matter?
I feel like this depends on the person, because I feel like it doesn't help you if you're not knowing what you're doing. I mean, you can always learn,
Yeah.
but I feel like I've used Instagram all the time. I've had other accounts. I've had like a photography account, I've had a plant account, and I've had a fitness account, all back in the day in 2014 when fitness was the thing. So I've always been like on social media, and I always loved being on social media and doing that. So
Yeah.
for me, that was like, of course, I'm going to do a social media to further market my crochet business.
Yes.
Um, so for me, yes, but I feel like you can do it in other ways too.
Yes, you don't have to put all your effort in social media.
No, definitely not.
Yes, there are a lot of people that are they have very big stores on Etsy and they are not
Mm,
present on social media. So,
yes,
so I
they
guess
just nail
it's
all the
not
other
like
things.
connected. Yeah.
Like if you look at um, people, crochet people who are like big on social media and big on Etsy, they don't have like always the nicest product photography and stuff, because they can like make their sales with social media, and like their followers and like subscribers and stuff, they trust them with their
Yeah.
products. They don't need this nice product photography and stuff. But for those big Etsy shops that don't have a big following on social media, they can do it with other marketing strategies like product photography, because you will trust the product photo.
Yes.
And yeah, I feel like if you're not good at product photography, for example, do social media.
Yeah. Try to find
Like,
where you're good at, you know?
yes, right. I feel so, yeah.
And also, like, I feel on Etsy is really important, like the reviews. Also, like, your product has to
Yeah.
be good. At the end of the day, no matter how big you are on social media, if your pattern has bad reviews, your shop is not gonna grow.
I feel so too, yes. Yeah. And I'm
Reviews are very important.
every time when I'm getting a review, I'm like, the notification pops up on my phone. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
God, what if
I
it's a
know.
bad review? Every time, because I haven't had one yet.
Oh,
So we're not talking about this.
I
Um,
had bad reviews before. It's
yeah, but
traumatizing.
I'm not existing as long as you do, so it's just a
Yeah,
matter
but
of time.
it's very good. Like, I mean, you should be proud.
I am proud, but like now every time I'm like, sometime will be the
It's
first
stressful,
time.
yeah.
Sometime will be the first time. So yeah, I'm
So
afraid of that.
sometimes, like, it's even, it can be a review about, oh, I'm so mad because I couldn't download the pattern, you know, and stuff like that. Well, that happened is not your fault. And
Yes,
not everybody can be, you know, like sometimes I don't know which creator I was talking about with, and they say sometimes you are too detailed for some people, sometimes you are not enough detailed for some people, you
true.
know, like it's really hard to match everybody opinion, you know. So even if
Definitely.
you get one, it's okay. And
Definitely.
it doesn't mean your pattern is bad quality, you know. But it's
Yes.
for
And
sure
like for
stressful.
me, yeah. And like for me, my patterns, I feel like are quite detailed. Like the reviews I'm getting are always like, it's easily described and easily to follow with all the pictures. But I feel
Yes.
like sometimes when I'm pattern testing for other crocheters, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, oh my God, they put like so much extra information in there, what I'm not putting into my patterns.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, every creator is creating their stuff as they would like to use it, I feel like. So I'm creating my patterns
Yes.
as I would love to use them. And I feel like that's just fine. And if then someone comes and just doesn't, you can always ask questions. If you're missing an information, just ask me a question, but don't
Yes.
leave a
Yes,
bad review.
absolutely. Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
what does matter is like the sometimes, like, it doesn't matter what type of explanation it is more like about the final product. People wants to have the final product they paid for. And I
Yes.
think sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. The most important is that people are happy with their plushies, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, definitely.
Because we all have different ways of writing and stuff. English is not even my first language, so I
Same.
know I don't explain as some people that speak English, you know, so it's okay. Well, that's very good. You didn't have your first bad review yet. And I hope it doesn't
We can
happen
have to
because
cross
it's sad.
fingers.
It made me sad.
Yes. Yes, I totally understand. As I said, I'm afraid, but I also don't want to be afraid. So I'm just not thinking it's a future Janina problem.
It's not one review that will, you know, mess up your
Yes.
business.
Yes. But as I said, it's future Janina problem. She has to deal with that. Present
Yes.
Janina doesn't have to deal with that right now.
That's what we want. That's a good vibe.
Exactly.
Do you deal like sometimes with like I know you are on YouTube and I know sometimes the user are a little bit more rough, like in the way they talk. Like, do you deal with negative comments sometimes on YouTube or on social media in general?
I don't want to say that because I feel like I'm jinxing it, but not yet.
Oh, that's
But I mean,
good.
I've had one comment on YouTube, but that was just like critique, and I love critique. And she was just saying, or he, I don't know, was just saying that I'm using a lot, but and
Oh, yeah, but we are
I just
European.
explained,
We say it all the time.
yes, it's yeah, and it's just not my first language, I feel like the is like my brain processing what I'm saying next.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god. And then she said like I could edit it out, which is totally true, but then I would like have an editing time of like a lot.
Yes.
And
It will take
but
you forever if you and sometimes if you cut it, it will not be perfect. Like in the way you talk, it will
hmm,
sound weird though.
yes, right. Um, um,
It's
but
okay.
since then I yeah, but since then I actually probably not using it as much anymore because I'm like I'm having it in my brain, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get rid of it and just like sometimes try to speak a bit slower because I'm speaking pretty fast to
Mm-hmm.
try to let my brain process this way. But
Yes.
this was the only
Yes, I
thing, and it was more like a
understand.
critique. She was very cute about it, and so for me that was like not a bad comment or anything.
Yes, sometimes it can be useful, but I feel like sometimes when you start YouTube and stuff, like when you put pressure on yourself to and you are a little bit stressed, like these kind of things will happen more and more you will like vlog and more you will feel comfortable and stuff. I feel that it will disappear. Like,
I feel so too.
because when I listen to my first tutorial, I can hear me hesitating all the time.
Yes,
And now
exactly.
I'm more like, I talk like I will talk. And I feel like we don't hear that much. So maybe like with less stress, I guess, it can disappear.
And I don't know if that's the same for you, but for me it's super dependent on the day. So today
If you
is
are
a pretty
tired.
fluent day. Like I'm pretty happy about that.
You're doing
But there's
amazing.
Yeah, but there are just some days, where I don't know if it's just like the concentration, you've had less sleep or something like that, and like you're talking as like not an English speaker. It's just not as good as
Yes,
some other days, and I feel like it's just dependent on the day.
exactly. And as you say, it's important to remind like the audience like it's not our first language, so you
Yes,
are trying
yes,
your
yes,
best.
yes.
I'm trying my best. Like I had comment about stuff that I say in English and stuff. Well, okay, I'm trying my best. If he was in
Yeah.
French, he would be better for sure. But because
Yes.
your audience is listening in English, well, you are trying your best and you do amazing. So
I
I
mean,
feel like
I
a
mean,
lot
we
of
can do,
people understand
yeah,
that.
we can do our content in our first language, and nobody will understand, and like
Exactly.
nobody. Like no one of those who maybe would love to watch us could watch us. So
Yes, yes. Yes, but I think like majority of people understand you are trying your best and like they
yes, I
are
feel
very
so too.
kind about it.
I feel so too.
But on YouTube, like sometimes people can be a little bit tougher. That's why I
Oh,
was
really?
asking you. Yeah.
Oh,
Because I
well,
guess you
I
talk
I've only
more,
yeah
you know.
yeah I've only 1,000 subs or like 1,500 subscribers there, so maybe this will come later as well.
Well, you have very nice 1,500 ones, so that's
Mm,
pretty good.
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that actually.
Yes, it's really hard to grow on YouTube. Like, did you feel it was hard? Like, I felt it was hard.
Yes, I do so. Like I'm putting out 2 videos a week, a day, no, a week. And I
Okay,
feel like that's a lot. I'm putting out a vlog
that's a lot.
on Wednesdays and no, on Sundays, sorry, and on Wednesdays like any other video, like crochet challenge or reorganizing my yarn stash, some other crochet content, and that's a lot. And still, it's like I don't know, 12 to 30 new subscribers per video.
Yeah.
That's just not a lot. And like even though YouTube puts the videos out, I feel like they are definitely on the for you page or
Yes.
like the you know what I mean, for those people. But to get like the subscribing part, like to get them to subscribe, I feel like it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's tough. I remember like starting YouTube and feeling the same way that it was hard. But then if you get one video
One
that
video.
goes big, well, you grow fast. I remember
Yes.
like I think it was my bike tutorial or something, and it really
Hmm.
I got a lot of followers, but before that, oh my God, that was hard. I had the feeling I was talking to myself, on YouTube.
Yes. But I don't like for Instagram, I like didn't go viral or anything, but as I'm on Instagram for such a long time now, I feel like I know what Instagram wants and like what videos you could get viral
Yeah.
or like become viral. But for YouTube, I have like no idea. It's like so weird. I don't know. Like as I
Yeah.
said, the vlogs are my most viewed videos, so it's definitely the ones that the people like the most, I feel like. But the only video that brought me like 500 of my subscribers are from like a video that like went a bit further.
Bigger, yeah.
Yes. And that was like a free pattern video, just like me recommending some free patterns. And
Yeah.
I didn't even like that video as much. And I don't know. So for
Yes,
YouTube, it's like I just don't know what to do.
I understand. Like, I feel like YouTube, a lot of people go on YouTube to find a specific information. And if
Yes.
they find it, well, you go, like your video, like my viral video was also like a free tutorial, And so
Or
I feel like a
sometimes,
lot of
yeah.
people go to find free stuff, maybe.
Yes, I think so too, definitely. But for me as a user, I like to go on YouTube and like I love to discover new accounts on my starting page just because
Yes.
I'm like clicking on every new crochet account that gets shown to me. And like some of them, of course, you just don't vibe with and you just don't watch further. And some of them you just love. And that's what I
Yes.
like doing as a user. And then I like to
Yeah.
binge watch all the videos that that person has. And then like from that
That's so
onward, like to.
true. Yeah.
So I feel like, yes, you just maybe it's just like more of a stable growth than on Instagram, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like you maybe really just get 12 to 30 to 50 subscribers per video and that's
Yeah.
it.
But also you're right about like you were saying earlier that you feel like your audience is more valuable, I will say, on YouTube. Like,
Yes.
I feel like someone that subscribed to your YouTube channel, like they will be loyal to you, like they will always follow you. Instagram is more like, oh, I scroll, I like this content, I follow, I unfollow. Like, it's a lot of going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
You
YouTube,
have
I
those
feel like
people
when
there
you
too.
are
Yeah.
building, you are
Hmm.
building something strong.
I feel so too. You have those
Yeah.
people on Instagram as well, but I feel like on YouTube, every one of those subscribers is one of those people.
Yes. And also the algorithm, like I feel like people that subscribe to me on Instagram don't see my content a lot of
Hmm.
time. Compared to
Yes.
YouTube, every time I follow someone on YouTube, I'm gonna see their videos. Like it's gonna pop
Yes.
up. And
Definitely.
that I feel
Same.
it really makes a difference because
The algorithm
when
on
you
YouTube is
follow
great.
someone, you see their content
Yes, exactly. The
compared to
algorithm is
Instagram.
just great. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, that's very interesting. Did you what do you think today is the best part of your activity, and what do you feel is like the worst part of your activity?
I feel like the best part is seeing people recreating my patterns or like my creations, like my designs, the things that I came up with, and like all the varieties that people make out of them, like all the
Yes.
colors. And sometimes they, like, for example, for the pancake turtle that I did, I only designed it with the syrup and the butter. And one of my testers did the blueberries and the strawberry, which I just added like some months later to the pattern as well.
So cute.
Like, I just love seeing all the creativity in people recreating my original designs and making them even more beautiful. That's
Yeah.
definitely the best part. The worst part, I don't have like a super worst part, but I'd say maybe the organizational part of a tester call.
Oh yes,
Because
yes.
as I'm doing some patterns, like as I'm designing quite a lot of patterns, I'm doing quite a lot of tester calls. And sometimes I'm having like 3 or 4 tester calls at once. And I'm having a 9 to 5 as well. So when I'm having a day of a release, I'm having the tester call due to like 2 days earlier. And what I really don't like as a German person who is like always on point, I hate it when people who sign up to test are not like without any reason. Of course, if there's a reason, it's always fine, but like without any reason can't like meet the deadline. And like for me, then it's like hard to, because I have like more patterns to be released than just one. I just cannot say, okay, I'm just releasing it like a few days later. That's something that I don't like, but it doesn't happen as often. So
relying on people is always stressful in general anyway.
I feel so
But
too, yeah.
yeah, I totally understand. That's why I always choose too many testers just for that, because if like sometimes like if they send you like the feedback too late, but it's too late and it can be super stressful. So I totally understand that.
And then, you sometimes get the comment like, oh, but the release is just in 2 days. And I'm like, yes, but it's in 2 days because maybe I'm having a work trip for my 9 to 5 the next 2 days. And I just have to have the pattern release ready. I have to have the drafts on Etsy already, like the listings, so that I can only click. I have to have the post ready for Instagram. I have to have the collages for the tester appreciation ready, like all that stuff. And that's why I'm having a 2-day like time span between
I totally understand. And if there is a mistake, you need to rewrite the pattern and stuff. Like it's
true. Yes.
It takes time. I totally understand that.
So that's something I can get passionately mad about.
Yes,
but this is the only thing.
Yeah, like sometimes I have people that like message me not a year, like a month after. Hey, sorry,
Oh, really?
I totally forgot. And I was like, and I'm like, I prefer not even to say it. I'm like, it's okay, don't worry, but in your head you're like, oh my god.
I've had testers who like couldn't meet the deadline but had like a reason and just talked to me, and I was like, yeah, totally fine.
Of course, and it's not a
you have a
job
life
for them, so
yes, sure, you have a life. Something can come in between. No worries at all. But I do not like when they don't say anything at all. That's like something I don't like.
It happened to me like once or twice. I just sent the pattern, so these people got a pattern for free, I guess.
Yes.
And you just don't hear from them like at all.
Exactly.
And I'm
it
like,
happened to me just once, but yes.
You're gonna block me just to get a free pattern? Like, come on.
Well, that's their priority.
And it's not even like edited pattern. It's not even good, But okay.
Well, your patterns are pretty. I'm sure your patterns are good before editing.
Yeah, but like sometimes there is like some mistakes and stuff. So I'm like, you want to get this version?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, you wanted to get it, so you plan to do it anyway. So why not doing it now and give me some feedback?
I know, just give me some feedback. Let me know if it works, But yeah, I feel like when you deal with people, you deal with good and less good people, I will say, and sometimes people also don't understand what having a business actually mean, like we were talking about reviews. That's why we do pattern tests. Like we don't want to have bad reviews. So, and I feel sometimes people don't understand that. But
that is so true. But that's like only we are just talking about like very few people.
Oh yeah,
like,
okay. It happened.
We
like
just have to
twice.
make that clear very quick. Yeah, we just have to say that.
That's true. All of my pattern testers are amazing.
Yes.
It happened to me twice that people got 2 like 3 patterns and I never heard
me
from
too.
them. So
I did like, I don't know, 30 pattern tests and like 3 times something bad happened or something. So that's like a pretty good quota, like not quote, rate, I would say.
Yeah, no, like a lot of people are really good testers. Let's put it. Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So what do you feel like, okay, big question. Do you feel like you want at one point to quit your job, or like what are your goals for your crochet business?
funny thing, my boss asked me that some weeks ago. Like,
Well, he wants to know, like.
um, no, I'm. So I told you at the beginning I'm not an office girly. I wanted to be a designer actually when I was a child. Always, I wanted to be a fashion designer, of course, but
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be a designer, and that now I am a part-time designer for crochet patterns.
Yes, you are a creative one. For sure.
But I'm also super risk averse, and I feel like I'm pretty similar to Jenna here from Crochet by Jenna,
Yes, that's why I
because
was asking you.
because I like with everything she says, I feel like I'm the same. I'm the same girl. Yes, I'm the same. I told my boss as well. I was like, maybe, I don't know, in like a year or so, when it's maybe growing and it maybe works out for me, maybe I'm doing part-time. So just like 3 days a week or something like that in my 9 to 5, and
Yes.
then like the rest. But I feel like fully quitting for that, I feel like a lot needs to happen. And I feel like you are, for me, as I can work from home, I'm flexible. And to have that flexibility, and as well have the flexibility in your crochet business, because it's just your own, you can do whatever you like. It's still possible to work like even part-time, like for 3 days in your 9 to 5. You can just do like a little bit less on the crochet business.
Yes,
So I feel like you can just manage both.
You still feel you have freedom, so
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, I understand about like the risk taking thing, yeah, how stressful it can be. We were talking with Jenna and I totally understand like the stress
Like
it can be. And
especially in Europe, because like in the US, I'm not too I'm sure about this, but in Europe, we do have the insurance for like all the health insurance and
yeah,
stuff.
same in the US.
It's
It's like,
like I'm not too sure about it, but I think it's cheaper if you do it with like your 9 to 5, if you're insured that way,
yes,
then insure yourself. So this is like a point. And then like I don't know the word for that, but if you're getting old, you're getting money from the
or the
country, right?
retirement. Oh, yes,
Yes,
yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm doing my private retirement thingies, and like
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
having money for that as well privately. But to have like that extra money of retirement from the like government when you're old is nice
Yes.
as well, And that would be like not a thing anymore if I would quit. So I
Yes,
don't know.
it's a lot of things to think about, and it's for sure things I didn't think about when I started. And I was telling Jenna here, like, in the US, you have to pay for health insurance, and it's
Mm-hmm.
something coming from France you don't realize, because in France we have like free healthcare, I will say.
Yes, yes, yes,
and
yes.
and I remember, so my husband has healthcare with his job, fortunately, but as a small business owner, if I had to pay for my own healthcare, I don't think I will
That's,
do it, because
I
it
think
can be
that's like
like,
40%.
yeah, it's like 1,500, 1,800 a
Mm-hmm.
month. Like, it's
Yes,
a lot of money.
yes,
And
yes.
when I realized that, I was like, oh, I'm thankful to my husband's job, because if you have to pay that by yourself, it's like, that's huge.
Exactly. And I mean, I feel like if you're that business person and you're able to make like a lot, because if you're having a business, you can make a lot more
More,
money than
yeah.
with a corporate job. You can.
Yes.
But you have to be the right person for it. And I feel like I could be the right person for like earning the money, but I'm not
Yeah.
the right person to being like mentally stable with that. I have
Yes,
like I
yes.
would be like I would need a therapist or something like that. And I feel like you need to be
You
the
will
right
need
person.
someone to talk
Yeah,
about.
yes. No, but you just need to be the right person for like the business aspect and the mindset to be like
Yes.
not afraid of anything and like to be a fighter. And I feel
Yeah.
like I'm that person to a certain degree, and then it just stops. And then I'm like
Yeah.
risk averse. So I feel like maybe a part time corporate job together with a crochet business could be great.
Yes, I totally understand. It's a question of personality, it's a question of knowledge also, because when I came here, I didn't know about all that. So I was like, oh, that's fun, you know? And then when you learn about it, you're like, oh, okay. But yes. And I feel like sometimes like your stability really matters, you know, like when you because like if you are too stressed, it's very hard to be creative anyway. So sometimes it's better to keep your mental health and with low stress and keep being creative.
Yeah, it's like so much lighter, I feel like. And I feel like that transfers to your community as well. They feel like, okay, she's doing it for fun. She's not doing it for money. Because at the moment, I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it for fun.
Yeah, because you enjoy that.
Yeah. And because I have a job that pays my bills. So I don't have to do it like I want to do it.
Yes, it's a different like level when you have to pay the rent with it, for sure.
Yes, I feel like.
Well, thank you so much, Janina, for being on the Crochet Podcast. Your story is like super interesting, and I feel like very inspiring for like other like crocheters that want to start. Like, you know, you don't have to go all in, and I think that's very inspiring that you say what you said about keeping your job and everything. So yes, if someone from the audience wants to start their business, you don't have to quit everything.
Yes,
And
true.
thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's very helpful.
I'm gladly to do so.
Thank you so much, Janina.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that you had me. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to this new episode of the Crochet Podcast. Don't forget to follow Janina on her platform. Her username is always Crochet by Janina. She's on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to follow the Crochet Podcast. The Crochet Podcast on YouTube and on Instagram as well to have access to all the episodes. I see you very soon, and please take care. Bye bye.